This is Outdoor Stories by Larry, and it's been a while since I made a story and told one, but I appreciate you watching the channel. So today, I want to talk a little bit about there's proof in the pudding, and facts really don't lie, and I've had a lot of experiences in the woods, and I had big stories told to me. But like I said, the proof is in the pudding. It kind of reminds me back a few years ago, my uncle, he just happened, he loved to hunt where me and my dad hunt, and they all done gone on now to be where they going to be, done died and went on. And anyway, I walked about a mile up my hunting spot, and I was hunting on the lower hills of Cheehaw Mountain. And as I climbed that mountain, man, I'm in there before daylight. And when I got all the way top of the mountain over a mile, there was my uncle sitting there and his two sons over there. One was sitting on a rock, the other back close to him. And my uncle said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Man, I've come up here to kill me a turkey." Well, it's turkey season at that time, but a few hours later, I heard some shooting. So when I decided to leave and come back, my uncle said, "Man, one of the biggest gobblers I ever seen come up top of the hill and stuck his head up, and I shot him, and he just went back into the fog." And really? He said, "Yeah, he had the longest beard, one of the biggest turkeys I ever shot." And really? I said, "Why don't you go down there and look?" He said, "I looked right out there and didn't see it." And I always was one persistent in looking for something. If you shoot at it, see if you get blood or something. And I looked down, and I went as far as he went. And I looked down another 20, 30 yards, and I saw his turkey. He had his feet sticking straight up in the air. I said, "There's your turkey right there." And he went down. It was probably 7, 8 pounds, maybe at the most. It was a hen. And he says, "Man, I might have got by without life if you had to come up and found that turkey." And so the proof is in the pudding. The facts didn't lie. It was a hen, and which, you go to jail for stuff like that now, but I don't see them taking him to jail now, so I can still tell that story. It was funny. He thought it was a big old gobbler. Well, wasn't too long ago, deer season come in. My nephew encouraged me. He said, "Why don't you tell that story about me and you going hunting? And I shot that big buck." I said, "All right." So we went all the way back up in that mountain again. I took my wife up there, and I had a bed cot up there that man, I could just couch back and stay there all day hunting, because we stay 6, 8 hours sometimes. And I want to be comfortable. But anyway, I took my nephew Richard up there. And so sure enough, old Richard, I went around the hill. I don't know what it is, but I always put somebody in my spot, and I go looking for another spot. I always done that. I don't care who you are. If you go hunting with me, I'm going to put you in a good spot. And people in Louisiana don't understand that. They say, man, I don't understand people put you in your spot. Well, that's the way I always done. I'm blessed by doing it. I kill a deer anywhere or a turkey. So anyway, Richard, I put him in my spot, and somewhere around 7:30 that morning, I heard the gun go off again, and so I made my way back down to the saddle, and he said, "Oh, I shot one, and I got it, and it was I think it was Spike." And then he said, "I shot another, and it was the biggest old buck. I mean, he had some horns come up, and he thought they was 23, 24 inches tall." And I said, "Well, exactly where was you standing?" "Oh, I know where you sitting at the tree, but where was the deer standing when you shot it?" And he said, "Okay, I was right." He went right yonder. Last time I seen him was right over there, and you sat right there, and I'm going to walk over where you last seen him. Well, I saw a stumble place where a deer stumbled, and so I figured, well, you did hit it. And I said, okay, I found blood. You can come up here now. So Richard, he come up and helped me. And so I went out there and I tracked it for a few minutes, just a little bit, because the deer didn't run about 25, 30 yards at the most. And when I got over there, it was a basket rack, a 4-point. No, it was a 5-point. Excuse me, it was a 5-point, little basket rack, just like that, just messed up horns. And Richards, oh man, he said, I swore that thing had big horns. And then we had to go back over and sit down where he shot it. I must have been looking at them branches coming up them trees. But proof is always in the pudding. Facts don't lie. So another time, my daughter's Misty, she wanted to go deer hunt. And that's what she wanted for her birthday, was a tree stand. So we took her up in the woods, and I had some pretty prime places to hunt back then, and the owners have passed away now. We don't hunt that area no more. Built chicken houses around it and whatever, but took Misty, and we had our little radios that we made contact with each other. I could see her. I didn't put her about 100 yards from me, but I could see her sitting in the tree. And we had to leave by, we was going to leave at 9:30. My memory serves me correct. We was going to leave at 9:30. And we usually don't ever leave that early, but our neighbor was getting married in our neighborhood, Chandler Springs. And so we was in Misty's Toyota 4-wheel drive. And so at 15 after 9, I heard that little SKS rifle go off. She was using one of my neighbor's SKS rifles. She'd already killed, I believe, a couple of deer with it. First deer was killed with it, and our next two was killed with it. But anyway, I heard that gun go off at 15 after 9. I was about getting ready to get down because we had that wedding at 11, and we had to get cleaned up, get back to the wedding. And then all of a sudden, about it wasn't. I got down, and Misty said, "Daddy, I killed a big old buck." It was probably about an 8-point. It was so big. And I said, "Really?" I said, "Awesome." She said, he fell down. And I said, "Well, great, good." And I jumped down out of my tree stand. I was ready, boy. Misty, she was climbing down out of hers. And we got down there, and deer come up on her, and she shot it. And when I got to the deer, it was a little 3-point. The proof is in the pudding. It always will be. And the facts was that it wasn't no big 8-point. But I don't let them live that stuff down because I like to pick at them. And especially when we get around and start talking about these stories and the memories we made over the years, it's been really good to make those memories. And, kind of like my uncle, he's dead and gone, and I was able to preach his funeral, and I miss him so much. But he said, "I'd have got by with that life if you hadn't found it." My nephew Richard, he said, "Yep." He said, "I'd got by with that if you hadn't found it." And Misty's the same way, well, I don't know why it looked so big, but it was a big one. We've had some good times in the woods, and a lot of memories are made in the woods, and a lot of lies has been told in the woods. I tell you, if I tell you something and you might think it sounds like a lie, I can tell you for a fact it's true. About my turkey story that's on the first video I did, wild turkey, what up with this turkey, just different things. they sure do look bigger when they're coming at us. But anyway, this is a next story that I made since then, and I was wanting to put another one out, and I didn't film none of the deer I've got this year, and maybe the beginning of next week I'll go down and shoot the house and maybe can make another one on my deer hunting. And Sherry, my wife, she's got a GoPro, but I don't like technology that much, so she's recording off his phone. She does all this, and she just wanted me to tell these stories. And I know it probably don't excite nobody, but it is memories that been made of my uncle, my nephew, my daughter, and I could tell one on my wife. I took her hunting one time, and she shot a deer's leg off, and it run to the watershed, and she ain't never want to go back. She's gonna buy a GoPro and take pictures and all that, but she likes to choose her time that she can go, like real warm and all this, and sometimes hunting season don't let us choose our time. We get out there.
I don't hunt.
Cher don't hunt, and so she tricked me in thinking she loved it till we got married, and then whenever we got married, she dumped me.
No, that's not true.
Hunt.
I quit hunting because deer are beautiful animals, and when I saw that one just wounded, and I couldn't do it no more. That was it. I mean, I'm not the type to kill the animals. I'd rather look at them, enjoy their beauty, because they're pretty.
Bring my case over here, Cherry. This is that mason jar. I'll show you what I do. Deer hunting is all about. I got a whole case of this, and this is actually deer. I just cut it off in pieces like roast, and I've never canned no deer, but my son-in-law, they can it. My daughter's cans it, and some of my friends too, and so I canned it according to their recipe, and I killed a small deer this year. That's kind of, I like to eat the small one, so I killed a small one that didn't have much blood or whatever, and I put it up in pressure cooker. I did this one for an hour and a half and put salt in it, and other than that, hey, that's all it is. I got 12 quart jars there, and which that wasn't the whole deer. That's I'll give my sister some, but anyway, needless to say, that's why we hunt. We kind of prepare for the worst. Lights goes out, freezer mess up. At least we can eat, and God's been good to us. But anyway, wanted to share these. Just the proof is in the pudding, and you can lie, but facts when they come out there, it tells the real truth. And not that anybody was just making up lies, but we all do that on the Big Fish stories. But God bless you, and this is Outdoor Stories by Larry, and keep looking, and maybe you'll see the next one very, very soon.
And if you like to send a story, Larry, give him your email address. You don't remember it? He don't remember his email address.
That's your ballpark. treestanddaddy@yahoo.com.
Or was it Gmail?
Gmail, yeah, it's Gmail, not Yahoo. Gmail.
I think it's Tree